Welcome back to M Hood Fishing, everybody. Doing a 7-rod adventure. This is the very tail end of the sunset. I wanted to start earlier, right before the sun started to set, but got called out to help somebody with moving an excuse me, a central air unit because their other one died. I really wanted to help them because they got elderly parents living with them, and I didn't want their parents to couch cook. So somebody else is installing that unit right now, and now we're going to install ourselves along the river. Come on. Over the weekend and including today, which is Monday, temperatures have been kind of extreme. It's only going to get worse from here. High 90s, but with a humidity that puts the index, you know, the feel temp, over 100. That was Saturday and Sunday. Today, a warm day, yes, but the highs were in the low 90s. The lows tonight will be a little better. Still warm enough to where coming out this late in the afternoon is very agreeable. Not very humid. It might change when we get close to the water. The humidity might come up. Later this week, the temperatures are going to be even more extreme. Highs in the high 90s by Thursday, I believe. So enjoy it while you have it, right? Since I have very little time left, very little light that is, I don't want to do a long ride. I want to stay close and look for fish in here. We'll probably go a little further down, just kind of keeping an eye on the water as I go. The river's at 9'4", and it's going to continuously drop over the next few days. I'm looking out here to see if I see feeding. What I'm looking for right now is white bass or skipjack. I got 4 rods dedicated to white bass and skipjack, 3 rods dedicated to catfish. Gonna do this spot first because over the past few days, white bass have been showing up in here, and I've caught them here before a lot last year. Skipjack have shown up here, not big, about like that, in cast nets. So yeah, see what we can do. So this is high tide pretty much. After a while, not too long from now, it's gonna start to turn around and drop. You know, it'll be an outgoing tide. Losing that light fast. Double jig rig here. Trust me, even though it's a speckled trout rig, it catches everything. We're looking upriver. When I'm looking for white bass or skipjack here, I usually cast upriver. I want to fish this with the current. All right, spend a little bit of time casting that, and as I've been standing in the water, I keep feeling a little pinprick every now and then coming up, and I feel it right now on my ankle. The shrimp are running. That's what that is. They're bouncing and bumping me, sticking me with their horns. So yeah, even though there's 4 rods dedicated to white bass with something different tied on each, I don't know if we're going to get to fish all of them. We might have to change spots, but since them shrimp are bouncing off me like that, got this tied up for shrimp. Not only did I bring the cast net, but I brought this scoop net too. So let's see if we can get us a shrimp real quick. Definitely got a lot of mud. Got a couple. Good start. Only using 2 ounces of lead because I'm not going to fish this far. Got a 1/0 octopus style hook here. One of these is kind of small. We're going to fish 2 shrimp on here. There are fish feeding further out, and I believe this is likely what they're feeding off of. There's a lot here. Wow, there's a lot moving. You see, I should throw the cast net. I'll get bigger ones that way. Ooh, bubbles under my feet. Whoa, man, I had a ton of little white bass in the cast net. I've got something else in here too. I've got a few good shrimp, Let's see. Look at that. It's like a big shiner. I got a big shiner. We lost that shrimp really fast. Both those shrimp. So we're gonna hook this shiner on here. We're just gonna go right behind the head, not too deep. There we go. Right there. Oh, I ran over here for no reason. I switched it to shrimp because this is where I want to catch my dinner. Yep, we got stripped. We almost lost this rod because it was doing this. I had just thrown this net, looked over my shoulder and saw it about to fly out of the sand spike. Let's see what I got in the net. Probably nothing, maybe some shrimp. A lot of mud. I did get shrimp. There was some nice shrimp in there. Not many, but some. Definitely enough to rebait this. We're only going to stay here long enough to get something to eat for dinner, and then I'm going to go to another spot where there's a bunch of light, but you'll see why I want to do this here. I've went ahead and put out a second rod because the spot that I really wanted to fish tonight is such a long shot that I might not be able to get dinner there. I know that I can get it here. I hope I can get it here. So now we have a piece of cut bait out there on a smaller hook because I just want an eater size fish out of here tonight. I thought that we would be very likely to do it on shrimp. We haven't been here that long yet. Coming up on an hour now. I am not sure what is going on over there, but it is making a lot of noise, and since it started I haven't seen any bites. Oh, yes. Just getting ready to throw the net, and this hit. This is on that shrimp, a single shrimp. On that little hook. Running and putting up a decent fight, not a huge fish. I think we have our dinner. Whoa, pretty good run. He's right here in front of us and he just ran all the way to the right. Oh yeah, we're gonna have a good dinner tonight. Yes sir. Flathead for dinner is what we're having. Look at that. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. So there's this recipe that I want to try, a YouTube channel that I've been watching pretty much since the beginning of my channel, called Totally Awesome Fishing, or TA Fishing. It's out of the UK. I watch him just about every week. He's a dude in his 70s, pretty awesome guy, does all kinds of fishing. I saw him do a catch and cook with rainbow trout the other day. Curry beer batter, that's what we're gonna try tonight. But now we can go to the long shot. Welcome to the long shot. To some people, they take a look at this and they think, wow, that looks like a really great place to fish at night. Lots of light. It does look like that, but it is not that, because we are here right behind the ferry landing. You cannot fish up there. You would get a trespassing ticket, but you can fish down here from the bank. There's a gate right there. So yeah, you can't get up there. This is extremely snaggy for a lot of reasons, but it is also a really strong current spot. There's all kinds of things to snag here. I'm going to show you something. If you look down, you'll see that there's just tons of these cables going out. Here's the closest one right here, and here's another one right next to it. Now there's a lot of these that are cabled in like this, and then there's a lot that's just loose, and there's a lot of other things like revetment to snag, but fish will show up here. This is why I brought 7 rods, because I wanted to come here. But yeah, I've actually already been here recently. Over the weekend I did 2 long shot sessions, and I would call this a long shot session. This was the first one Saturday night. It was just brutally humid out here and hot. Nice tonight because we have a breeze and it's not as hot and humid. And then Sunday night I went down river pretty good ways to Port Services and did big baits, no weights there. Just hit snags and some gar that came off. So yeah, 2 long shots in a row. That's why I wanted to hit that spot down there to get dinner first and try to catch fish before it got dark, and then when it got dark, get dinner, and we did that. Let's see if we can do this. Before I left the spot where I got the flathead, I ran into Devin, and he had a minnow trap that he'd been running all night, and he went to check it and ran into me and said, hey, do you want these? Got some big shrimp here. Check them out, good sizes. Let's get a small one and a big one out of here. Oh, actually, no, I've got something else I want for the big rod, and that's what I have. This is a shiner that I saved from earlier, and I tried to keep it alive. I think it's barely alive. Shrimp on, shiner on. When I was here Saturday night, I noticed fish feeding really close in because there's grass shrimp really close in. I'm trying to get a little more length off here, and I mean close in. You'll see in front of me that there are some willows coming out of the water. You just want to put this right there, not deep at all, but these fish are coming up in here close to feed off the shrimp. That's maybe 2.5 feet deep. Current's not very strong. That's a 4-ounce lead. Going to do the exact same thing over here, though this is a 2-ounce lead, so maybe not too far out. Kind of up underneath the bridge. I'll start throwing a jig for a second before I put out another catfish line. Because of the lights, white bass and skipjack could be here. Oh, hit a snag right off. Hit one of those cables. Ooh, something chased me in. Can't let this sink too far or we'll snag. Gotta keep it up in the column. Fishing it with the current. Got him. I have a spoon out there right now. It's probably busy getting snagged. What do you know? The long shot has worked out. I don't have a landing net. This fish is... Ooh. What do we got? Another flatty. Yes. On that live shiner. Awesome. I knew I had an idea. I'm not going to go so far as saying I knew. But the last time I was here, there was a massive blow up right in these willows. And I know there were shrimp there. And it was either a gar or a flathead is what I was thinking. This is like a clay deposit that I am on. They tend to be slippery. Nice, that's better than the one we got in the tote. All right, let's see if I can get this spoon back. Oh, it's not snagged. I just love it when a long shot pays off. I had to come here and get skunked once before I could come back and not get skunked. I came here and I figured out what I needed to do to make this work. So far, so good. I am good to go with fish tonight. So this one's good to go too. Look what I snagged. It's a whole mess of it down there. I finally caught something on a sumo spoon here. I really was thinking we were about to call this, and I was just sitting here killing some time, throwing this sumo spoon. Oh, he spit it. That was a decent fish I just lost. Maybe I can do that again. The hooks on a sumo spoon are pretty small. Fishing this on a Carolina rig, that's how you fish the sumo spoon. That's twice in a row. I lost the sumo spoon, and now I just lost a double jig rig. Tackle graveyard here. I think we should call it, get to cooking before I lose everything, including my mind. That was a really decent white bass, I think, that I lost on that spoon. Then I lost the spoon. Yep, you just can't let your lures sink too long here, because you'll lose them. But man, I think we will come back and look for white bass and skipjack and flatheads again here one day. Yeah, you're right. I already cut the fish tonight. So Graham says in his video that he said the beer tastes good, and that tastes good too. I'm just saying. Anyway, he says in his video that if you start with your fillets dry, that the batter will stick better. So that's what we got. It's got some regular flour here. I'm gonna do it exactly like he did it. He made this batter like he was making ground bait. I'd say a cup and a half, maybe even close to 2. Got some curry powder here. It's a fairly mild curry powder. That's what he used. He added about maybe 2 teaspoons in there, maybe something like that. But you got to remember, you're in M. Hood's house. He always adds a little more curry, a little more curry. I think he added some salt, but I'm going to add this. This has salt in it. I'll take that thing off though. There we go. This is blackened redfish seasoning. He made his fairly mild, using a mild curry with no heat. We are in Louisiana. We're in M. Hood's house where things are a little on fire. We got about a pinch of cayenne there, and we got another pinch of cayenne there, and another pinch of cayenne there. Gonna do a dry mix. I have a feeling that even though I added 3 pinches of cayenne and a little more curry than he did, that this might still come out mild. We're gonna start adding our beer, but just like Graham did, we're gonna sneak up on it. That's what I mean by it's like he's making ground bait. He just kind of sneaks up on it. We want this kind of thick. He made his kind of thick. It's gonna take more beer, I think. We're looking for what is going to appear to most people to be a pretty thick pancake batter. I think we're getting there. Oh, yeah, that's the curry changing that color there. Looks like something maybe your baby makes. I think that's looking good. Now, I really want to spend some time stirring this and folding it like that. Try and get it as much oxygen folded into it so when it fries, it comes out fluffy. To get more oxygen in it, it would help if I had electric beaters or an electric whisk, or if I threw it in the blender. The carbonation of the beer is what actually puts a lot of oxygen into it, but doing this helps as well. There we go. This is where I'm gonna get my hands dirty. I know this is good and ready to go because there's bubbles forming in it. We're gonna, woo, that's nice and thick. Gonna get them coated and then drop them in this plate. I'm gonna start batching them up. I've got the oil pretty hot, so it shouldn't take too long. Some of them are thinner than others, so they're not going to take very long at all. It's already puffing up, looking good, smells good. Done. That's the last batch right there. It worked out to be about 3 minutes per side. Yeah, you're right. That's looking good. I'm going to let these sit here and cool off. Let's see if Graham knows what he's talking about. Mmm. Pretty good. Wow. I actually happen to really like curry. I really like Japanese style curry and a lot of Indian curry and a lot of Thai stuff that has curry in it. Oh. Really good flavor. Just like I said, I thought it was going to turn out mild, even though I added more stuff in there than he did. It's not hot. It is fairly mild. Though, wow. Oh. Seems like I like everything, huh? I bet you anything, the heat is going to build as I eat. It's not hot at first, but the more I eat, the more I'm going to feel it. Yeah, I think so. Let's try another piece. This one I cooked a little more than maybe I should have. It's going to be crispy. Oh, that's good. I like the crispiness. The fish is done just right. The outside is crispy, you know, and it's soft and flaky on the inside. Wow. Woo. I'm glad I watched that video. You know, we all have YouTubers that we like to watch, but we don't always get to or don't always watch all their videos. I'm glad I watched this video. I watch him at least once a week. He puts out more than one video a week. Oh, totally awesome fishing. Had a good idea there. I like that. I could have added more spice. I could have made this a lot hotter. More cayenne. Wow. All right. Lately, when I get to this point in my catch and cooks, I'm so hungry that I could just sit here in front of this camera and just let it go as I consume and consume. I do have to get this video edited and out. If I eat even half that, I will be sludging through through molasses. It's gonna knock me out, make me tired. So I have to just hold off for a second and say this. Thanks for watching, subscribing, liking, and sharing, and I will see you next time.